as real as it gets.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
Give it to me, baby.
All right, welcome to the UCW Radio Show. As you guys know, we have great guests, inspirational, motivational people. You see behind me, I have the man himself, the Iron Addict, the It's Still Your Mother Effin' Set, C.T. Fletcher, but he's bringing on a couple of special guests, and we're going to bring them on. C.T., family, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. And, you know, we have CT, we have Samson, but you know what? I want to speak to you, Ms. B, okay? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, women, you know, you have powerful women out there that do a lot of amazing things, and they are the anchor of the family. They are the ones, they're the bedrock, and you've been a bedrock for your family, and I love that. I love that. I've seen your husband go through things, you know, I mean, and what you've done and the motivation that comes out of that. I don't think you get enough credit. I know your family gives you enough credit. I want to publicly give you that credit because, you know, life doesn't have a manual, but they got a mom, they got a woman that handles that business, and that's you here.
Well, thank you. That's far more credit than I deserve.
No, you're wrong about that. Yeah.
No, thank you. That was very flattering, and I appreciate that.
Well, look, I think that you've been through a lot as a family, and I believe that right now, what you guys are doing, you're going towards the next chapter. I know that people are listening, they're watching this show, and they're saying, "Oh, let's talk about what CT does, what he does." Right now, we're talking about everything, but family is the most important thing. And you go through things in life, and the bottom line is, you know, adversity breeds strength, right? And
Right.
I mean, this is what you guys have done. You know, I mean, look, Samson, look what you went from, you know, not wanting to lift weights, and all of a sudden you're breaking records, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I say, you know what? I mean, I have pride, like if I was your uncle, which I'm probably going to be your uncle now. So now, you know, I have that type of pride because I see you're a good man, and
Thank you.
and that is important because that's the stuff that motivates people, you know. And you know, tell me about. I'm going to go to your father in a second, but I'm trying to get to you guys first because it is important. You know, tell me about your bench pressing experience because that, you know, look, we all train, we all work out, but at the end of the day, your father says that we're all the same under the bar, and sometimes that bar, you know, can go it can go the wrong way. But tell me about your experience. Tell everyone.
Well, my experience was I went from a person or a kid that really didn't know what to do for years and years and years, and I thought I could just do fine by myself.
Right.
Fast forward to 2020, late 2020, my dad was like, "Hey, I believe you have huge potential to be something great," and that's when everything, you know, took a turn for the best. I went under his training, and then we came out victorious, and now I'm a world champion under his training. So I can't, you know, ask for obviously a better father and a even better coach.
You know what's funny is that, you know, this is your dad,
Yes.
3-time world champion, bench press champion, 3-time strict curl champion. You know,
Right.
and I mean, but you didn't follow in his footsteps growing up. You took your own path.
Yes.
What made you do that?
Honestly, I'd be in elementary, and to me, I already knew he was, you know, a giant. You know what I mean? But to hear the other kids say to me, you know, your dad is huge, man. Like, he looks like a Marvel character. I was like, I want that to be me. You know, I want my kids to be proud of me, and I want to leave a legacy, my own. But, you know, have a lot of the characteristics and a lot of traits that my dad did. I can't help it. You know, I'm blessed enough to have a father like mine, and, you know, he's a dime a dozen. So I can't, you know, forever grateful that he's still here and he can see, you know, my energetic butt, try to, recreate history.
But and you're lucky because your father is here.
Yes.
Things were different a few years back. CT, Pops, you were going through some rough stuff. I mean, and I remember, and I just seeing you, just in the hospital, dude, you brought tears to my eyes, and I was like, because I felt it, and I just felt all that stuff. But God, you came out of it.
You said the right word when you said God, Louis. That's the reason, man. That's the reason I'm here. As you know, I flatlined 5 times before I finally got my heart transplant. Mm-hmm. And one of those times, nobody was around but me and Miss B, and she got to watch me, leave here. And I think the last thing I said was her name, right, B?
Yeah.
Yeah, last thing I said before I flatlined was B. Like she could do something about it. I was calling for some help, man. Like, B.
Well,
and we was out of here, and wasn't no doctors, ambulance or paramedics, anything around, just me and her.
Oh wow!
And the Lord snatched me back, and she's been there. She don't get enough credit. I try to give it to her, but she's been there through everything.
I know.
She holds us all together, hold it down, keep me in line. She's my nurse, 24/7. Gets my medicine together, and it's a bunch of it still to this day, every day. Mm-hmm. Make sure I'm well taken care of.
Yeah, look, B. I told you already. You're the jam. You're the jam. You're the peanut butter. You're the sandwich. Everything. Okay. and this stuff is important because more people should understand that if you have someone strong next to you when you're going through things, the bottom line is you can get through anything. CT, you went through something that people go through things in life. I've never been through that. I've been through my own stuff. The bottom line is when you have that anchor there, it gives you something to fight for.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, because I thought that stuff was important, now you went from going through that traumatic situation and you went and you're here now. You've been doing one amazing thing after another. Your popularity is through the roof. Okay. You have your gym. Okay. Where, with COVID, that was a struggle too. It had to be. Small business is tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like every other gym, I guess, a small business. Even some of the big chains, they shut you down just like that.
Yep.
We were shut down just like everybody else, and it was definitely a struggle just to because my landlord didn't give a damn about no COVID. She wanted her rent every month, just like business was booming.
Right.
So they don't care. There was no, I don't know. I heard that there was some kind of grace for some renters or something, but that did not affect us. My landlord did not give a damn. She wanted her rent on time every month, just like everything was going fine.
She pulled the good fellas. F you, pay me. That's it.
That's it. Absolutely. That's it.
And I'm sure Newsom didn't come in and give any bailouts to you guys for anything.
No, it didn't drizzle down. I know. I'm sorry. I did get my $600 stimulus check. I did get that.
Yeah, that helped a lot. that put a dent in that rope.
I think that was a carburetor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. You got a whole. You got. I saw you in your nice vet. Okay, and I'm a vet guy. I had three or four of them. Okay, I had a Target top, I had a rag top, and I used to love those cars, man. I used to have Pirellis on them, and they had the dual exhaust thing and the whole thing going on. And I mean, but there's a history with those cars. You have a story with them.
Oh yeah, I'm a vet man, big time, man. I've been a vet man, since early days. Even when I got my first vet, a 71 convertible, and running up and down the 405 with my training partner, Big Daddy Richard Stormberg. He was 400 pounds and I was 350 or 325, and we riding up down in the back, man. So we had to hang one arm, I'd hang my arm out the door, and we'd hang his arm, and we'd still be smashed up together, man.
Yeah.
But it was a whole lot of fun, Louis.
Yeah, sure. As long as you didn't hit a speed bump, you know, because the whole vet could split in half, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, you've been training. You've done a lot of things in powerlifting. You've accomplished a lot of stuff. You know, 3 times you're world bench champion. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, people that look at videos from back then, you were the happy, smiley guy, always smiling and laughing, and you no matter what it is, you're always trying to help people. And I saw that, you know, and again, I don't think, you know, even though you have a huge following and everything, CT, I don't think you get enough credit for the things that you've done, because beyond, you know, what you went through, most people would have just given up. You know, most people, they think about themselves. You know, you're doing the things you do. You're thinking about all the people around you. And look, I mean, who do you're training with, from Terry Crews to, I don't even want to mention his name, Mike O'Hearn, my buddy, my brother. Okay, but you're training with all these top guys, and you bring in other guys, and you do these things. You put them through the gauntlet, man, and. You know, and the thing is that they're there for one reason only, because of the level of respect, and they know what CT is about. They know what Pops is about, and that to me is impressive, because, you know, having that aura that comes before is you know, it's just something special. And I just wanted to say that because I think it's important. So now let's talk about what you're going. I know you have a protein line that you're involved with. I want to talk about that a little bit, because, you know, your health is important, especially now after this, and this is something that's helping with your health.
Right. It's all vegan. I was, if anybody knows my history, they know that I was the biggest carnivore on the planet, man. They talk about people are taking my lunch, what I ate every day for 20 years, as a challenge now, the CT challenge. I'm like, shit, that was just lunch, man. You know, 4 Big Macs, 4 fries, strawberry shake, and 2 apple pies. And they think that's a food challenge. I'm like, I did that shit every day for 20 years for lunch. When I go to McDonald's and they knew what I was going to eat, they'd have it ready, sitting on the table when I walk into McDonald's. And, you know, the staff there, the workers there would stand around, and I know he's not going to eat. And they're like, wow. I only had 30 minutes for lunch. So, you know, 10 minutes, I'd be on my way back to work. I finished it up really quick. So,
well, I'm sure they were in shock every day. You get that new worker in there, like, what the?
Yeah, it was, you know, that, and for breakfast, I would drink a dozen raw eggs every day. You know, just the things that I did back then were so crazy. And then I wound up changing everything after the heart problems to being a vegan. And this Ambrosia is the protein brand. It's all vegan. And I even have my own signature flavor, man. So cool. It's a hell of a turnaround for the old man.
But that you're feeling much better now, I hope.
Yeah, I feel much better. But I want people to know that a lot of people, vegans are, I don't really consider myself vegan. Yeah, plant-based, because vegans are, you know, they'll beat the ass if you say the wrong thing. Oh, no, but I'm trying to stay alive.
It's like a CrossFit person.
Yeah, you get wrapped up. But, you know, I'm just trying to stay alive and stay around as long as I can. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing it, you know, strictly for health reasons.
Yeah, well, and plant-based is not bad. It's good. It's all natural stuff. And this product, this Ambrosia, is actually helping you with what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's helping me and a whole lot of other folks, man. I think it's #1 in vitamin shop now. My little signature flavors #1.
Nice.
Yeah, and I appreciate the hell out of that. I don't know why people, people like my ass. I don't know why, but I still appreciate the hell out of it. The following, I don't know. Look, Lewis, when I got on YouTube, I said, look, I don't give a fuck if you watch me or not. Turn the shit off. And why people, would follow a guy who said something like that, I still don't know. So
you want to know why? Because you're real. You're real. You're not going and doing your YouTube or even your Instagram, whatever you're doing now. You're not going out there being the plug monster. Okay, you're talking about real stuff. You're showing people how to do things. You're saying what's on your mind, and you're leaving it there on the table. They digest it. They do whatever they want, but people respect that, and I think that's why you have that following. Because not beyond you accomplishing all this stuff, but people respect that because it's like you're just true, and and how do you fight that? You can't if you're true.
If I can, but I want to say something about my son. Now, okay, I made this comparison. Say Michael Jordan's son decided he wanted to play basketball, or Wayne Gretzky's son decided he wanted to play hockey, or let's see who's a fantastic fighter, Muhammad Ali's son decided he wanted to box. The expectations placed on that kid
very high.
Are ridiculous.
Yep.
Ridiculous. My son used to try, he trailed along behind me in the gym, when he was like 14, 15, and people would see him and they'd be talking shit about my son, his form or his deadlift or something, and he's just a little kid. Boy, Louis, I wanted to fucking jump through the screen and choke the shit out their ass. Before anything, all the weightlifting, all the. I'm a dad like anybody else. So to hear them talk about, but my son has to take on all of that criticism and still decide that I want to be a weightlifter. I want to do what my dad did. Fuck what everybody else got to say. I'm going to take on all this pressure, all the fucking shit talking, and I'm going to go out here and I'm going to compete in weightlifting competition. And that is incredible. That alone is incredible for him. It's a tremendous amount of pressure. My dad was a preacher, and everybody thought I was going to be a preacher. And some people say that I am a preacher, but I'm the cussing preacher, They say, I wind up being a preacher anyway, but that's the last thing on earth I ever wanted to be was a preacher.
Right.
But he expected me to be, like my dad.
Right.
To be a preacher. And he was, a well-known preacher. And everybody expected me, oh, you're going to be like your dad, but hell no, I don't be nothing like my dad.
Right.
But it's a hell of a thing when a kid takes on, the challenge of trying to follow in the footsteps of their father, if their father was an athletic, figure of any stature.
Yeah,
So,
it's tough. It's tough because, the expectations, the shadow. And that's why, Samson, this is why I was asking, why did it take you so long? I knew the answer. It's hard to follow in your father's footsteps. It's tough because the expectations are high. And as you mentioned, C.T., you go to the gym, people are talking smack. They're talking all this nonsense, but they don't know. They don't know you, and they're talking all this stuff. And I remember one time you posted something, either you or your father posted something, and you were benching, and I don't know, your form wasn't perfect, and somebody they were making all these comments, and I was like, what the fuck? I said, why are people, everyone has something to say. Everyone has a comment, but what I saw was you're working hard. You're putting the work in. You're getting the stuff done. You're not listening to the background noise, because all that is background noise. It's that stuff that the haters, just they're fans in training. These are people who are going to follow you, and they're going to start, following what Samson's doing because you're on your path. Look how cute that is. You're on your path to doing something great in your life. And I'm like abundantly proud of you for what you've done, and what you're doing. CT, you were talking about your dad, and I there's no secret because you spoke about this in your documentary, and you had a different type of relationship with your father.
Yeah,
Do you think that had a profound effect on you and how you are today and how you deal with life?
most definitely. I had a shitty relationship, to put it. He either had to bleep me out.
We're not bleeping. We're going the way it is. We're going CT full. I just won't do it, but you're okay.
I had a shitty relationship with my dad. He lived to be 86 years old, and we never sit down and held a conversation. Me and you have talked way more than me and my dad ever talked. Way more, Louis.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. So we didn't have a great relationship, but he was a preacher, and everything was a sin. I don't care what it was. It was a sin, man. And you get your ass whooped for sinning on the regular. When I say ass whooping, I ain't talking about no spanking or no TV, no telephone, or none of that. I'm talking about breaking your fucking nose and sending you to the ER when I say discipline. Wow. So he was a very strict disciplinarian, and that helped me in some ways later on, because when I went in the Army, other guys was crying and shit. They want to go back home to their mama, and I'm like, go back home? Hell no! This is wonderful. This ain't shit compared to home. You know what I mean? So, no problem, man. But so that it helped me in some areas in life to, as steady motherfucking set comes, from during hard times, especially from my mother. I seen her be sick her entire life, never complained about a thing. So as Steve motherfucker said, being able to go through things, hard things, tough things, no matter what. Steve motherfucker said that my bringing up, my upbringing, the way I grew up, is kind of where that came from. Not kind of, that is where that came from.
And you've been working since you're a kid. So
yeah.
You're not lazy by a long shot. You've been working. You and I, same age as we were kids, 11, 12 years old, working, and you were whatever you were doing. I know I was delivering newspapers by hand, because you got to go make some money to go and survive and help with your family. Right. And this is the stuff that you do, and that helped with your character building too.
Most definitely, Pops. Pops was like, I remember reading it. As soon as I was old enough to read, because I seen a newspaper and it had a sale in there, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's on sale, that's cheap. My dad goes, what the fuck do you know about cheap? You don't got a job, you bastard, you lazy. I'm seven. So I get a job, didn't know what cheap is, but I'm like, fuck, I gotta do something, man. I gotta get some kind of job going on. So the first thing, just like you said, the first thing today was a paper route. Man. So we got the paper route. Me and my brother, my older brother, got us a lawnmower, started cutting grass, and we was fucking had the Fletcher Brothers lawn service for the lawns, man. We had to get it done, dude.
Yeah, you were doing stuff in California. I was doing stuff in New York, shoveling the snow and doing whatever you got to do, to earn, and see, when you have a work ethic, your character shines, because you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to do something. You're not afraid to take a chance, because what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain, and with your dad, with how he was with you, I know you know, like Samson, your relationship with your father is different than what your father had with his dad, with your grandpa. Is a lot different. You know, you're lucky. You're lucky. You know, but yeah, because you don't want to have those experiences. But what it does, it helped you. It helped you to get mentally strong, I would think, Pops. It would.
Most definitely. Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Most of the, you know, the thing, like I said, the things with crack, most people is just, what? That's nothing. That's nothing. When you come from that kind of background, it definitely thickens your skin and toughens you up.
Yeah, well, and that's what it's got. I mean, something has to come out of it for the better, you know.
Yeah.
And then you were in the army, and then you went on your path, and you worked for the post office. You're a postman, man. I mean, you go deliver to somebody's house. I would love to see that picture. You just showing up at somebody's front door.
That's where I met Miss B at.
Oh, really? Look at that. The story comes out. I want to hear the story, Miss B.
Well, he actually wasn't a mail carrier. He was a mail handler. So he worked in a larger facility, and he handled the heavy stuff and the forklift and the tow truck. So, yeah, we crossed paths. We had different shifts, and he was doing what I was doing. We were supervising at the time. And what made you ask me?
Well, I'll tell you what happened, Louis. Everybody in the post office, Miss B was floating around the post office, and all the guys was like, you don't stand a chance, and you must be out of your mind. There's no way you can get her. And I said, watch me.
and look at you now. Watch
me. And they was like, nah, ain't no way. She'll never talk to you. And I'm like, okay, watch me. We'll see.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but you know, sometimes you have that connection, and both of you, and I see it here, that connection is something special, you know. And you can't, you know, you have a lot of women, a lot of men out there, a lot of couples, and I believe when you go through things, that either breaks you or makes you. Okay, and you guys are stronger because of everything you've been through.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
one of the times that when I first had my initial heart attack, Samson was just me and Samson was there. Samson's right there by my side, so he was, he was my rock too for a while. When I was trying to recover, he was like my number one cheerleader, walking right beside me. Come on, Dad, you got this. Come on, Dad, you can do it. So he was also a rock for Pops. And so without these two, I wouldn't be shit.
Yeah, well, I can see that.
But I'd be less shit than I am now.
But Samson, I have a question for you. So now, when your father when this was happening with your father, okay, how in your mind? Because I'm sure you didn't show him weakness, but how did you feel? What was going on in your mind?
Just a lot of anxiety. I mean, it's just because I knew something was wrong. He went to the restroom. You know, I'm trying to visualize everything because I hate to go back to that day.
Yeah, well, I don't want to bring you back to a sad place.
No. Yeah. You know, I'm good. He's good now, so you know. If he's good, I'm good. But he was in the restroom. My mom, I think my sisters and my mom were in our island that we're from, and
which is
Palau.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
Palauan.
Yeah.
I like it.
A little bit of other stuff too, but yeah. But, we were there, and he went to the restroom. And I can kind of tell something was up a little bit, you know? So I knocked on the door and I asked him if he's okay. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he said no. And I was like, by that time, he opened up the door.
But that was the first time you heard him say no.
Yes, ever.
That's what got you.
But I'm so close to him, I know when he is not feeling well.
Right.
I could see it and I could sense it. It's like, I am literally on 50% of both of these wonderful, beautiful individuals. But like, so I knew something was wrong. By the time he came out, he was drenched in sweat.
Oh.
So I didn't know, because I don't know what I'm thinking a heart attack is. You're like, ow, something is, ouch, it's gonna hurt.
Right.
But this one was more like a suffocation thing, kind of. You know what I mean? And yeah, he was just pale and he was, very sweaty. Mm-hmm. And so we walked, I grabbed him or something like that, and we walked to the couch. He sat there, and I was like, I'm gonna call the paramedics.
Right.
And the paramedics came, and he went. He went to the hospital, obviously, and then come to find out that he had a heart attack, which I didn't know, and I didn't. I'm not a doctor. I'm the farthest thing from a doctor, but I know when you're in trouble.
You have to excuse the noise. As my little pup is just going. She's getting so excited with your story. But
so that was pretty much it. And I had no idea that he had a heart attack. But they plugged you up with some what is it called?
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah, nitroglycerin.
Oh yeah, the nitro. Yeah.
After
because I actually told, I was so sure I was going to die that I told
that's after though.
That was after. Okay, we tell reporter. I forget which. I thought I told you
that was after. So you had the initial heart attack. He comes out the hospital waiting for the transplant, and mom and
he has another one while I'm gone.
Yes, they were still gone. This is all within, because I think they're gone for about 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
And so it's about, I think, 4 or 5 days after the initial heart attack. He's in pretty bad shape. So he's in his rocking chair, like a lazy boy.
Right.
I knew something was wrong, so I called my sister in. And she came in. She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna call the paramedics. I'm gonna call the ambulance to come get you." And by that time, he was like, "No." He just said, basically, he said no. He was like, "It's too late." So that was like I was kind of like just empty. Like I didn't know how to react, but I had to hold my head high. You know what I mean? I had to be strong to show him, to have him have confidence that I had.
Right.
So he's in the chair. My sister was she was in the living room calling the paramedics. And we have this moment to ourselves where he looks at me and, I look at him and he basically said what he said, which you guys don't know. Nobody knows this but him and I. He said, he told me to shh. He shushed me, and because I was talking to him.
Right.
And he said, I love you.
It's tough. It's tough, Samson, and I feel it. I feel it, man. That's your pops. And to see him in that weakened state is a tough one. But I got to say, you went through a test. And you showed the type of man you are, man. You showed the type of man you are. And going and seeing your father go through that, the bond that you guys are going to have is just going to be stronger and stronger, And I know it's tough to talk about. That's why I really was trying to hold back on that. But
you got to hear the rest of this story, Bruce, because it's what after I told you that?
You told me you love me. I don't want to really put exactly what you said out there, but you said you love me a lot.
Yeah.
And his eyes were just going out. I never witnessed death.
I'm gonna tell you, look, I was on my way out, dude. I knew I was.
His face was green.
Knew I was dead.
It was real bad.
You can because I've had it a couple times when you are dying, Yes,
You start feeling yourself fading out. I know.
You're not about to drop off to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, you know, I'm just passing out.
Yeah.
Death is different,
Yeah.
and you know it. And I knew I was dying, so I wanted to tell them, you know, that I loved them, and that I was apologizing. I'm sorry, but I gotta leave. You know, I know I'm leaving too soon. I'm leaving earlier than you thought I was gonna leave. But I apologize to you for leaving too soon, but I gotta go, man. I ain't gonna be around here but about 1-2 more minutes, and I'm out of here.
And you weren't having that, Samson. You weren't
Nope.
having that. No, hell no. Hell
said,
no.
you know, when he said I'm sorry, you know, I'm trying to really think. He said I'm sorry, and you know, obviously that's when it was a turning point, though. That's when most people would have just, like, you know, folded, if you will. You know what I mean? That's when I regained this.
The strength of your parents came through you.
Strength, and God came through me because God talked to me and said, no, if you touch him right now, he'll wake back up. So if you touch him, because that, you know, the connection you have, and if you're a firm believer in God, that anything is possible. So I touched him because he was going out. His head was going down.
Gone.
It was like, you know, it was hard for him to look up to me.
Right.
But he had enough strength to do that. And he was like, I'm sorry, but I was like, no. So I touched him. And I said, you're not going anywhere.
Yep.
I said, because God is literally talking to me.
With 100% confidence. He was positive. I was positive I was leaving, and he was positive I was staying. Yep. I was like, I'm 100%, and I was okay. I was okay with. I didn't want to leave, but I was never afraid of dying. Never afraid of dying.
It got to the point where, you know, I was kind of convinced before, you know, that good turn took its turn, and I was just, you know, I took a picture of him because, you know, obviously I thought that may have been it. But then something told me, I was literally talking to myself, real true story. I was talking to myself. He probably doesn't even know this, but I was talking to myself like, God, I need you. Like, God, I need you right now. I need you. Yes. And out, you know, but it was, you know, it was out. I was saying it like we're talking. I need, please. I may haven't, you know, been, you know, the best. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's things that I should have, you know, fixed with, you know.
God is forgiving. We know this.
Yeah. Just, you know, if anything, if I wasn't perfect, I'm sorry. You know, if there's things that I can do to improve, but just keep him here and I'll show you by glorifying you. And I'm here today glorifying God, you know, through what I was set here to do. And it's not me trying to be my dad because, you know, I'm all about being me. And solidify my own legacy, but it, you know, if it just so happened to be this, and it's funny how things work.
Yeah, I mean, you went through something traumatic, and going and connecting, and walking by faith. I always say, walk by faith, can't walk by sight, because sometimes you don't see what's in front of you.
Right.
You know, you just hope. You know, you CT, you were looking in the abyss, man. You were looking in the abyss, and you know, at that moment, your son, his faith, went and yanked you out of the abyss because you didn't belong there. And I know, Ms. B, I mean, you weren't there when that happened.
No, not for the second one.
Yeah.
I was there for the first one. When they called me, I came back home.
Right. But that must have been, you know, like, I mean, that must have tore you up from the inside out. You know,
I went to my brother's house crying. We jumped in the car because I don't know what the hell to do. After that, the ambulance already, you know, obviously took him. I was like, we gotta go. It was like 11 p.m. And you know, he got up and we just shot straight to the hospital. But I was like, man, I need you right now, man. Like, so I was banging on the door. I was like, you know, it happened again, and he's already knowing because it was. People don't know this, but it was happening frequently. If he ate a little ounce of salt, it would just right back to the hospital.
Oh, man.
Right back to the hospital. So it was just, and then May 5th.
Yeah, a lot of.
Yeah.
Every day was a scare. Every day was a scare for you.
A lot of emergency room trips, a lot of ambulance rides.
Not to make it about me, but I knew at that point, I knew that, that really brought the man out of me. I had to do what I had to do to maybe if this, which I knew it wasn't it, but I was like, maybe I just have to do this, but I don't know, shit about business so I was just, I was like, this can't be it.
Me either. I don't know shit about business either.
I had 1,000% confidence.
But think about it. No, not just to go on the lighter side. Even today, when we're trying to have this show, we're going through all types of hurdles.
Yeah.
Okay? And what I tell you guys, that I guarantee you, Miss B's in a car. She's like, yeah, it's not going to start until I show up. The party doesn't start until I show up.
Yeah. I thought it would be over by the time she got here. But we got an old dude trying to do some computing shit. It takes forever, man.
Yeah, no, but it's all good. Look, we this right here, when I do my show, these are the stories that mean something. These are the stories that motivate. We're not, promoting and all that other stuff. People are hearing this from your mouths, what you've been through. And if this helps one person to get through a tough time, we did our job today. We did it.
Absolutely.
And with Samson, you've been through a lot of stuff. Ms. B, you've been through a lot of stuff, and I see how you guys and what you're doing and how you're making your own path, and I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. Okay.
You know what, Louis?
What's that?
I gotta ask you a question, man.
Sure, go ahead.
What does UCW stand for?
Oh, that was a way long ago. It was for Ultimate Championship Wrestling way back in the day.
That's what I thought, man. That's what I thought.
Yeah, way back in the day.
You know what I was hoping it didn't stand for?
What?
Was Ultimate Christian Workshop.
Oh. Hey.
Oh my God! I've been cussing my ass off. Let me ask you. I was hoping for championship wrestling, man.
Yeah. Way back in the day, I just kept the acronym because it just works. It works.
Okay.
It's easy for me to remember.
Were you a commentator or broadcaster for championship wrestling, or you just loved it?
Nah, I used to wrestle.
Oh.
I wrestled with the Hart family, Jim Neidhart and Bruce Hart. Yeah, I wrestled with from Bundy, King Kong Bundy, and all these guys. Yeah.
Did you learn in the famous dungeon?
Yeah, way back when. When. Yep, I had some of my guys that went up there, and they stood up there as well. And
I heard about it.
I'll share this story with you, so people are watching, they can get it. I don't normally talk about this, but I remember must have been 96, 97. Okay, Stu Hart would call me every Monday. He would say, "Lou, when are you coming up? When are you coming to Calgary?" I said, "I don't know. Why, Stu?" He said, "Because I want to stretch you." I said, "You don't want to stretch me, man. Because stretching, he's breaking something." I said, "No, you go get Davey boy. Go get you some bread. Stretch them. Don't stretch me." I said, "I got Jim Neidhart here. You go stretch him."
I heard how absolutely tough he was, man. He was a real dude.
He was the toughest. Out of pro wrestlers, seriously tough. Good guy. And he did a lot of stuff for wrestling, and wrestling is what it is right now. You train with from Steve Austin to The Rock and this and that. All these guys, but wrestling back in the day, it was just different. It was different. It was different. It was
Hart, man. The best there ever was, the best there ever will be. He's a good dude. I got to talk to him a couple times. You
have some guys out there, like when Macho Man was around. He went through similar to what you went through, and because Lanny would tell me what was going on, and when he passed.
Pop-Up, right? Leaping Lanny Pop-Up.
Yeah, Leaping Lanny Poffo. Yep. The genius.
Yeah, yeah.
He moved to Ecuador.
Did he?
Yeah, he went to retire. Him and I we were training in Florida, and he said, "What do you know about Ecuador?" The fuck? What do I know? I don't know anything about Ecuador. Maybe I have a friend that's from there, and he just had a whole plan, and he devised it, and he's living there now.
Wow.
He wanted to do that and live his life. Yeah, because his mom passed away and everything. But enough about me. We're gonna go. We gotta put things back on you.
I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Oh, I know that. But you know the funny thing is that
be one.
Say again.
Even trained to be one.
Did you really? When'd you do that? I didn't know that. Bring that information.
The Seaside Gym in Long Beach, California.
Okay.
Just trained for a very short time until I found out the schedule of professional wrestling, all the traveling guys had to do. But I loved the training, and I was body slamming the shit out of people back there.
Oh, that's great.
It was.
You found out about the schedule. You found out about the pay. You can't survive on $100. So
yeah, man. Yeah, a different city every weekend, and I'm like, wait a minute. I have the post office over here, and I got health benefits and shit. I think I'll stick with the post office.
Wrestling, that business is not for everyone, and it's just a different animal. I mean, now it's different now than it used to be. A lot different, but it's entertainment. Yeah, right now you have no fans in the audience, so how they're doing it, and God bless them. As long as people stay healthy, man, that's all that matters,
Right.
But I know that when Randy, when he because he passed away when he was in his car because he had a heart attack while he was driving. Yeah, and
what did you wrestle under, Louis?
Oh well, I went under the moniker Falcon, but that's a different story altogether, and I have enough injuries from it. See, I didn't have to do it. I just, in life, and you and I have been through a lot of stuff, and when you go through these moments, you try to. My mother, that's my anchor in life. Okay, and she taught me something. She said when I was a kid, she said, whatever you want to do in life, you do it. No matter what it is, you have a dream, you do it. You may do it for a little while, just do it. Don't have regrets. Don't not do it.
Ooh, she was very wise.
Oh, my mother's tough as anything, boy. She slapped me around today. 2 days slapped me around, But but you go and you try to do the things you want to do in life, so you've done it. And that's why with what you're doing now, I mean, I'm amazed because you came out of this whole episode that you went through, this chapter of your life, which you never want to revisit again, but it changed your life. It changed your whole family for the better, believe it or not, because you had to be the sacrificial lamb for your family to be where you're going. I that's the way I see it.
I believe it. I believe that. I think I heard somebody recently say that nothing great comes out through the easy path. You have to, in order to do something great, you have to go through hard times. You have to suffer in order to do something great. It's just impossible for greatness to come any shape, form, easy.
Yeah.
It has to be tough.
You have to put the work in. You have to.
Something great to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny. Just talking about sayings. People say, "Hey, you're an overnight success." Yeah, it only took me 20 years. Nobody knows about the struggle. Nobody knows about the struggle, and the people that are there for the struggle, these are the people you want with you.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say with what you went through. Your family's tight. The people that are around you, these are the people you want around you. And this is the stuff that's going to take you to another level. And I know it because, look, Ms. B's wearing the sunglasses. The future is bright. You know it. And things are happening. And again, I'm amazed that you went through the heart attack. You went through all this stuff. And you're sitting in front of me, far away. But you're sitting in front of me now today, where if things would have went the wrong way, we would never have this opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know, we would never have this opportunity. And the one thing I want, and one thing I want to say is that I don't want to, I don't want to stroke your ego or anything, you know, but I have respect for you, not from your benching, not from what you've done and powerlifting and bodybuilding. You know, you've done all these things. I respect you for the man that you are, because
that's the highest praise ever. Because that other shit, Louis, that used to be everything is nothing now, man.
And you realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You realize that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Watching my son compete is a million times more. I get a million times more out of it, more gratifying watching him compete than I ever did, you know, when I competed. You know, when I could care less but watching him do it and stand up there and win it, shit, my heart wanted to jump out my chest. I was so fucking proud. I was so happy that was, you know, it just whatever my achievements paled, you know, they don't so insignificant compared to watching my son do what he did. That was just.
But that's a father's pride. That's the way it goes. You know, it's what your ego is out of the equation when it comes to him. Your ego's out of the equation on a regular, but when it comes to him, it's like, I don't matter, you matter. Spotlight on you, and this is what is important. And I believe that, you know, your son. Look, Samson, you got a big future ahead of you, man. Big future. A lot of things you're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna be, but all I know is that, you know, however I can help you to achieve what you want to achieve, I'm a phone call away. Okay, and we won't have the half hour session trying to figure things out. that was hilarious. But I believe that God intervened, and Ms. B, you sent it out there because he said, "Hang on, we're not having this show without Ms. B in the middle." That's why I was not going to have this show until you showed up, because you're meant to be here.
This is history, because us three have never been on a show of any kind together before. So she never wants to come on. She never wants to come on.
Thank you so much.
Well, this right here is about your family, and that's why, you know, you'll go, and I know you've done all these, you know, rep this and all these shows with bodybuilding, fitness, all this stuff. Yeah, that's all well and good, but where's the real story? This is the real story right here. This is what people should want to know. You know, your feats, what you've done is great, and I'm proud of all that stuff. But you defeating death, fuck. I mean, you took the sickle, you broke it in half, and look at you now. You know, and you're still training, and you're in the gym, the Iron Addicts gym. You're there training people, doing this on a regular. Okay, and you haven't slowed down a pinch where most people would slow down.
Well, I slowed down. Trust me.
But not as much. I mean, what I mean by slowing down is not your rendition of slowing down. I mean stopping and doing something else, and go do the gardening and plant some tomatoes. I don't know what's going on, but people do that. You know, you didn't stop. You kept going.
I damn sure slowed down, and I also want to clear. I didn't kick Def's ass. Def kicked my ass. I had big time help. I had intervention, man. If it wasn't for me, Def is still undefeated.
Well, we can't escape it. It gets us at some point. But your time was not then. You have a lot of stuff to accomplish still. A lot of stuff to accomplish.
You know, said, not now. You can have them later, but not right now.
There you go. Now, talking about you training and everything, you know, as anyone that's been watching this, you know, if you're listening to the show, you don't see it, but you've been watching it. There's a website. You guys don't see it, but we have it right underneath, and it's talking about your fitness app and what you have. You know, I want to talk about that because you're sharing knowledge that really people can't get. I remember back in the day when I was training with the Mensa brothers, when I, trained when I was curling, and I was young, I'm curling. I was curling like 250, okay, and my wrists were hurting me, and I was talking to Larry Scott. I said, I don't know, my wrists are hurting me. It's just me and him in the hall. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm curling. So how much you curling? I said, 250. That's your problem. I said, I don't know, but it feels like I can do it. He said, yeah, but you got to go lighter. And he showed me the Scott presses and the Scott curls.
Man.
And this is a legend. And
well, that's my pattern. I wanted biceps like Larry Scott. People don't. If you don't know who Larry Scott is, look him the fuck up, because that's legendary. And when I was a little kid, that was the man. A lot of people don't know who he is even now, Louis, but Larry Scott was the man. If you want to know, that's why I fell in love with the preacher bench, doing Scott curls.
Yeah,
and it's still my all-time favorite exercise on the preacher bench over bench press or anything else. I love me some curls, man.
Yeah, Larry Scott, his arms, he had the peak and everything, and he had that look to him. But I say this because, and the reason I'm bringing him up is because how you are. You're willing to help people. You have your fitness app to help people. Back then, we were lucky to have a telephone. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have all this stuff. We have Muscle and Fitness. You get that, but then all of a sudden, I go somewhere. I go to the Olympia in New York. I'm with Larry Scott. I'm with all these guys, and it's like these. Now they're legendary. But if I didn't have the opportunity to be around them, I wouldn't have those stories. And you're giving this knowledge out to people on your app. And I want to talk about your app. So I'm going to give you the floor to talk about that.
Yeah, what I like most about it is I had my son do the app with me. So most of all the exercises that are on the app were demonstrated by me coaching my son. That's one unique thing. I get to teach my son where I started when I was 12 years old. I'll be 62 in June, so that's 50 years. 50 years of working out and training. And I showed him things that I learned when I was 12, and I learned from the guys. I used to go to Gold's Gym about every other weekend and to see the Mr. Olympias in person. So I got to see those guys in person training. And then I learned from the guys in the penitentiary too. My cousin Junior Miles spent most of his adult life in prison. A lot of guys around the block and up and down the street in Compton Boulevard would come over. They'd be fresh out of the pen. And those are guys that we looked up to. Craig Munson, big influence of mine as a kid, the biggest human being that I ever seen, especially bodybuilder. And he wasn't, Mr. Olympia, but he was bigger than Mr. Olympia. Yeah. So I took all the years of experience, like you said, talking to Larry Scott, legends like that. I've had those type of experiences, legendary bodybuilders, and then the penitentiary guys put it all together and got a training app together with my son, demonstrating all these exercises, things you're not going to see on the run-of-the-mill, training apps. So it's training.ctfletcher.com, man. And I'm so super proud to be able to do it with my son. So what the old man can't do, my boy can get it done.
and that's what it's about. It's a family business now, and that's a good thing. So people need to go to training.ctfletcher.com and get the app, learn about it, and just understand more about real training. You have too many guys out there with the fluffy duffy, training things, come on, and see, you wouldn't remember this, but when I was younger, I met you. Okay, in California, when I went to Venice Beach, and I was around there, and I was just infatuated with just training and training hard, and you see a big guy. Who else? And there were guys that I remember that was huge, like Vic Richards, huge, but didn't compete. And Joe Weider was trying to get all these guys to compete. And when I went and I saw, and you and Craig, I saw you, I was like, I mean, it's like scary because like I can't get that type of strength, but you know what? Stuff like that pushed me to get that type of strength. You know, so I was able to go bench the 600. I was able to go do all that stuff. Can't do it today, but at least I say I can do it. That I did it.
That's right. But we can talk about what we used to do.
Yeah.
But there was some absolute monsters walking around.
Yep.
I mean,
people don't realize it that back then, man. Oof.
In 3D, Victor Richards, you met Vic Richards. Was I remember I was doing curls one day at Gold's Gym, and I was feeling pretty good. And he was doing curls at the same time. We weren't doing them together, but we were going tit for tat. We was going tit for tat, and we worked up to 225 on the curl bar, and we was doing repetitions. It was a competition going on, but not really. Nobody was. But I would do a set, and then he do the same thing. You know, so we going back and forth. Victor Richards was a strong bastard, man. Usually, by the time you got to 225 we did it on the Olympic bar. By the time you got to 225, there was very few people who could actually curl that one time. But we were doing reps with it, so he hung in there very well.
That's the stuff that you and others inspired me to do. That's why I was able to do it. You know, again, I mean, could I do it? Nah, I don't know, but I might even try. We're not going down there. But leave that to Samson. Samson, you're going to do that stuff. I'll live through you, vicariously through you.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. But with your app and how you're training your son, you're bringing all those stories, all those things to the table, things that people, they're not seeing it on YouTube. They're not seeing it on IG. They can only see it where you have your application. And how, I mean, not a lot of people know about this type of training. Not a lot of people do, but it's like, you know, like you said, with the pig iron, because you even have something going on with pig iron, you know, with that. I mean, this is stuff, the rusty old weights that you had in the, you know, out in the street. You know, I lived in Africa for a year. I was training on the side of the road with a wooden bench, and we had like cement on the bar. You get it where you can get it, man.
Absolutely. The fucked up or the weather beaten, that's the better it is, man. Me and Samson got a shitload of pig iron in the backyard right now, and it rained a little earlier, and it's gonna rain. It's making it better, man. That's patina.
Yeah, that's a good word that puts a little patina on everything. You know, just that you don't want the chrome to come off and you stab you. That happened to me one time.
So we're bringing pig iron back, man. I got the trademark on it. I was shocked that nobody else had the trademark, and we're going to be making our own pig iron plates here real soon.
And you found a U.S. manufacturer.
Yeah, I had the U.S. manufacturer is of course more expensive, and so we got him for part of it, and then the other part we got a guy that I've been knowing a long time, and he's going to make us some. The U.S. guy his plates are steel. The other guy that I've been dealing with for a long time, his are iron. So we're gonna start with steel. Then I told him I have to have authentic pig iron. I have iron plates, so
yeah. I have some of that stuff myself, and doesn't matter what you do, it turns rusty brown no matter what you do. You can paint it. That paint will last maybe a few weeks. It's gone, and you get the rust. But the rust is okay as long as you wear some goggles and you're good to go.
There you go. We'll get in your eye.
It will get in your eye, especially if you're pressing it. You know. But so. I mean, that's awesome stuff. See, you have a lot of great things going on, and we don't have enough time on this show because we have so much to talk about. But, you know, CT, I love you guys, your whole family. I appreciate you coming on, you know, and I do implore people to go to ctfletcher.com, go to training.ctfletcher.com, see what he's doing. Learn about the training, because you can be the best that you can be if you train the right way. You know, doing the fancy stuff and everything is well and good. You know, we leave that for Mike O'Hearn, right? We leave that for Titan. Let him do that stuff, you know, but we're talking about he's going to get pissed that I'm saying that, but that's okay. That's okay. I love him.
love him. He's my brother, but he's a pretty boy.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knows.
Well, he's California pretty. Got the
Yeah.
tan and everything. And Heath knows that too. That's why it bothers him all the time. But yeah, you have some amazing things going on, and we're gonna have to do this again. And Samson, I'm gonna want to bring you on yourself. You and I are gonna have a one-on-one. We're gonna talk about your training. We're gonna talk about your business. We're gonna talk about things because I want people to get more familiar with you. Huh?
You got time later today?
Oh no, actually, I got another show. We didn't even talk about. I have a show, a martial arts show, and we didn't even talk about your martial arts background, CT. That's one thing I want to touch on, man. We got to take a couple minutes to talk about that.
Oh man, we got my last term was 1980, and it was the Ed Parker International Karate Championship.
Ed Parker Senior.
Yes, Ed Parker Senior
We're gonna have
International.
his son on the show in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. He moved into the wilderness, but he paints. He's an artist.
Oh really?
Ed Parker Jr. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And it was that was my life before weightlifting, man. I thought I wanted to be Jim Kelly, man. I wanted to be Jim Kelly. Yeah, he was still around. I wanted to be just like him. I was fighting as a middleweight back then. So we'll save that for the next show.
Yeah, we'll save it for the next show because I definitely have to go and hook you up with all these martial artists that once they know that you are a martial artist, yeah, they're gonna love you. They're gonna love you. And hopefully, the Arnold will be around some point, the next year, and that's gonna be interesting too. But we're going to talk more about your stuff next time. I got to bring you guys back on, that's for sure. But I thank you for coming on, and I appreciate you guys to high heaven, and we're going to do this again. And for those that are, again, you're listening, you're watching, training.ctfletcher.com, and make sure you check out Samson, check out CT, and give praise to Miss B, because she is the anchor of it all.
That's right. The star of the show.
That's it. She is the star. You are the star. And thank you guys so much. And you just stick with me, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of the UCW Radio Show. We're gonna have some more great guests. Not as great as CT and the family, but we're gonna try. We're gonna do okay. Hang on, guys.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio in your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.